WBUR Podcasts, Boston.
I'm Daryl C. Murphy, and you're listening to The Comment. WBUR, Assistant Director for City Space, Candace Springer.
Hello.
What's up? How you doing?
Doing all right. You know, January felt like the longest month ever in existence in the history of time. And
Very
I feel
long.
like now, shortest month, we're rapidly speeding through it. It is Black History Month. So, although every month is Black History Month.
So, Candace, with all that in mind, what are we doing this month? I understand we got a heavy focus on film.
Yes, indeed. I mean, there is a lot of cinematic excellence happening in the city this month. And so we're going to be talking about some really fun film series that you all can dive in, especially in a month where it is still cold. It's, you want to be warm. You need an incentive to get out. You don't want to be hanging around in the streets that much. That's what we're all about in the month of February, I think. So I've got some good recs for you.
All right, start us off. What are we doing first?
All right. Speaking of Black History Month, our first one is a series at the Coolidge Corner Theater called Icons. And it's happening now actually through February 23rd. And It's a series that celebrates more than 70 years of iconic Black stars and their most memorable performances, arguably. I mean,
who are we talking about? I like this. Who are we talking about?
Yeah, so we're talking about Dorothy Dandridge. We're talking about Denzel Washington, Sidney Poitier. Like, we're talking about some icons of Black film. So I'm really excited about this series. And I mean, we know that Black actors have always been sort of the representation of our lives. Like, we are not a monolith, and they've been able to sort of represent and challenge perceptions and redefine expectations of what it's like to be Black, what Black life is like through all of these performances. And that is what the Coolidge is really trying to celebrate during the series. So let's get into it. Let's get into
it. You mentioned all of that. I immediately think of Sidney Poitier.
Yes, exactly. And that's the first one I want to talk about, because In the Heat of the Night is one of when I think of Black cinema, I think of this film. 1967, Sidney Poitier. This is the film that made Sidney Poitier the most bankable star in Hollywood. Not Black star in Hollywood, star in Hollywood. So it's about a Philadelphia police detective named Virgil Tibbs, iconic name, just so epic.
They call me Mr. Tibbs.
I mean, this film just has everything. It obviously deep conversations about race. And of course, it has the most iconic slap scene I have ever seen.
Heard around the world. We're not talking about Chris Rock and Will Smith. We're talking about the slap that ushered in a new era for Black actors.
Was Mr. Colbert ever in this greenhouse, say last night about midnight?
Gillespie. Yeah. You saw it.
I saw it.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
When I still see it to this day, it literally sends me out of orbit. I'm out of my own body because I just can't believe that it happened.
Yeah.
And so if you've never seen this film before, like, this is, I think, one of the ones to go and check out as part of this Icon series. Highly, highly recommend that one.
All right. What else we got?
Okay, so now we're leaving Coolidge Corner and we're heading over to downtown Boston to the Wang Theater, which is celebrating a historic anniversary, their 100th anniversary. Wow. A big milestone.
A centennial.
Exactly, for the Wang Theater. So this is a free film series celebrating Boston's role in movie history, and it's called Lights, Camera, Boston. And just for some historical context, I don't know how many people know the Wang actually opened in 1925. And it was called the Metropolitan Theater, and it was actually originally a grand movie palace. So that is why the Wing as it exists today is sort of putting on this series to sort of honor the roots of, its original intention, the Metropolitans. So super cool that they're digging back into their roots a little bit and doing, I think, a series of 4 days of screenings of some iconic films that were either made in Boston or set in Boston or have Boston roots of some sort.
Hit me with 2.
This starts on Valentine's Day. So let's start with the one that you can see.
Take your boo out.
Exactly. Let's start with the one you can see on a date night. And that is Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
Which is probably one of my favorite films that's in that set in Boston sort of aura. Definitely a great kickoff to the series. But hey, say you don't have a boo. The next day, February 15th, Galentine's Day, go see Legally Blonde with Reese Witherspoon playing Elle Woods. And honestly, I feel like I've watched this movie 5 million times, truly.
Never seen it. Can you believe that? I've never seen that movie.
Oh, Errol.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's so many movies I've never seen. But yeah, that is one of them.
Definitely recommend you putting this on your list. And also just has Jennifer Coolidge, who is Mass native. I mean,
hell yeah.
She is
Love her.
So funny. So yeah, this series has even more The Departed, classic, Little Women, set in Concord, Massachusetts. Glory is also playing here and in the Icon series. So you have 2 chances to see Denzel Washington and
Denzel's getting some spins.
He is getting some spin. And then it ends with The Wizard of Oz, which, funnily enough, is the only film in the series that is not set in Boston. Obviously, we all know where it's set, but there are so many actors in that film who either grew up in Boston or Boston was their hometown. And the original screen test of The Wizard of Oz happened in Massachusetts. So it's a reminder, this series is a reminder of how epic Boston can be. And really it is a place for, creating and birthing art.
A lot of cool things happen in Boston.
Truly.
A lot of cool things.
Yeah, so if you're looking for something free to do, this is a great series. And just a warning, it is general admission, first come, first served. So you can sign up and get your tickets, but you got to get there early. Make sure you get a seat. Seating is not guaranteed. You have been warned. So
what is that again? That's Lights, Camera, Boston at the Wang Theater, February 14th through the 17th. So you got some Valentine's Day. You got Galentine's Day, Palentine's, whatever you want. Go with your boo, go with your friends, go see some movies.
Go by yourself.
Made in Boston. Go by yourself. All right, so I feel like this is a good time to take a break. But when we get back, we're going to get one more recommendation, and then we're going to jump into what we got going on at City Space.
Sounds good.
All right? We'll be right back. And we're back. You have one more for us before we jump into City Space.
Yes.
You have another recommendation for us.
This is a very beloved and cherished annual tradition, and it's called the Bugs Bunny Film Festival. It happens every year around this time at the Brattle, which is in Cambridge. It is a celebration of probably the most iconic cartoon bunny in history. The Brattle has been doing this film festival for more than 25 years. It's still one of their favorite programs to put on, and it features feature-length programs of Merry Melodies and Looney Tunes, and they're shown uncut in their original 35mm film, and it is really a rare opportunity to see these cartoons as they were made or intended to be shown. So, back in the old days, this is happening during Boston School Vacation Week. And I know y'all are going to be ripping out your hair trying to find activities for your kids. So the Bugs Bunny Film Festival is probably, I would say, or I would recommend as the premier event to take your kids to for a couple.
This is news you can use. This is definitely for the community right here. That's that for our film recommendations. Elsewhere, let's bring it on home to WBUR's City Space. What do we have going on for the month of February?
We're staying in this vein of film.
Okay.
On February 24th, City Space is screening a documentary called Dukakis, Recipe for Democracy. And it is I already said that, but I'll say it again. It's a documentary that focuses on the legacy of Michael Dukakis, who was a governor of Massachusetts and a presidential candidate who did not win. Fun fact, it is co-directed by Aaron Tron, who is one of WBUR's film critics and has been
shout out to Aaron Tron
on The Common before. Yes, absolutely.
Yep. Well, do we have anything else?
We do.
City Space?
Let's stick in the realm of parents. I know you need us. You need us right now. It's coming up. You don't know what to do with those dang kids. Mm-hmm. We are bringing back, and for the first time ever during February vacation week, this is the first time we've ever done it at this time, our mega awesome, super huge, wicked fun podcast play date. So
mega awesome, super huge,
wicked fun podcast play date, and it is a 2-day children's podcast festival. So we go out to all of our friends in the world of children's podcasting, ask them if they want to come and do live shows at City Space. Of course, we anchor it with our own Circle Round, WBUR Circle Round, which is beloved. And tickets for that one are sold out already, but we are going to live stream it. So that opens up access to not only the folks who live here in our community, but anybody who loves Circle Round around the world.
And look, and for folks who don't know, just give them a quick introduction to Circle Round.
Sure. Yeah, it is our children's storytelling podcast. It focuses on folk tales from around the world. So Rebecca, the host, Rebecca Shear, she does amazing deep research into all of these folk tales that may have been forgotten or have never been discovered by cultures with which they are not centered in. And she adapts them into audio stories, which is really fantastic. And in addition to her, we're going to have 5 other children's podcasts in the house at City Space. Everything from The Big Fib, which focuses on teaching children how to tell what's true from what's false. Very important in this day and age.
Yes.
Yeah. 2, for the first time ever, we are having Radio Labs Terrestrials, which is, really sort of explores like what's out there in nature. 6 podcasts over 2 days. Right there for you families. So come on down. We'll have some activities as well. Lots of merch for you to take home. Book sales. It's definitely a great way to spend a day. And it's over the weekend too. So you don't have to worry about work. You can just come on down and hang out with us at City Space.
Superb. Yeah. Love it. Candace, you know what it is. This is always a pleasure. Something I look forward to every month.
Well, me too.
Thank you once again for coming through to The Common, sharing your recommendations with us, helping the people out. It's cold. Some folks are probably feeling down because of the cold. So hopefully this will help some people, get out the house and get moving and engage with some culture.
Amen. You have no excuse not to see a great film in February. And thanks for having me.
That's WBUR Assistant Director for City Space, Candace Springer. And that's our show for today. Thank you so much for listening to The Common, which is produced by Franny Monahan. It's mixed by Marquise Neal and edited by Yasmin Ammer. And our theme music is Me from Hisu. And from the newsroom of WBUR, I'm your host, Daryl C. Murphy. I'll talk to you next week.